Hi, everybody. My name is Nanika Edwards. I am a poet, author, artist, linguist, and educator from Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a particular poetic device called a simile. Simile, right? And I'm going to be explaining what it is through one of my rhyming poems, and it's called Moko Jumbie. Do you know what a Moko Jumbie is? It's a character that goes about on stilts. It's one of our traditional carnival characters. So, what does the word simile remind you of? It sounds a lot like the word similar, doesn't it? Well, do you know what a simile is, by the way? A simile is a poetic device that equates two things that are completely different by using the phrasal construction or using a phrase like as something as, or using the word like. That's what a simile is. I'll say that again. A simile is a poetic device that equates two things that are completely different, yet similar on some level. And you can recognize a simile because the comparison between these two different things will be done using the words as something being an adjective like as something as, or using the word like. A simile sounds a lot like the word similar. So, anyway, let's see if you can recognize the simile or the similes in the poem that I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. Moko Jumbie, and you can see the Moko Jumbie there on your screen. So now you know what a Moko Jumbie is. Moko Jumbie by yours truly, Nanika Edwards. I'm as tall as the sky as I look down at you. You're as small as an ant as I do my do. I'm dancing on stilts, lanky and long. I take one stride and then I'm gone. Okay, so I'm going to read that again. See if you can spot the simile or similes in this short 4-line poem. Moko Jumbie by yours truly, Nanika Edwards. I'm as tall as the sky as I look down at you. You're as small as an ant as I do my do. I'm dancing on stilts, lanky and long. I take one stride and then I'm gone. So, have you spotted the simile or similes? Would you like to make a guess? I'll give you a couple seconds. That's right. The first simile is in the first line. I'm as tall as the sky. As tall as, right? That's a simile. And what are the two things that are being compared? That's right. You, or the person who's speaking in the poem, and the sky. And as you can see, they're on either side of that simile phrase. As tall as. Okay, good. Now what about the other word as? in this sentence? Is it a simile? Does it, when you see this word as, does it mean that it's a simile? No, because it's not part of an as something as phrase. So what does this as mean? What word could we substitute with as here? That's right. We can substitute it with the word when. I'm as tall as the sky when I look down at you, right? So that's what that as means. It's not, it's the third as in that sentence means when. It really means when, okay? Okay, right? So we've found the first simile. Are there any other similes in this poem? Yes, that's right. In the second line, as small as. As small as. So, what are the two things that are being compared here? That's right. It's you or whoever the voice in the poem is talking to. It's comparing you with an ant to say that you're really, really small. And as you can see, they are on either side of the simile phrase. Of course, it's also an exaggeration. It's like hyperbole. So these two different similes are also a form of exaggeration or hyperbole. Because nobody's as tall as the sky and nobody's as small as an ant. But the Moko Jumbie is just making the point that a Moko Jumbie is very, very tall because it goes about on stilts. And again, we have a third as in this line. What does it mean? Do you want to guess? That's right, just like the first line, it means when. So if we replace as with when, the sentence would still mean the same thing. You're as small as an ant when I do my do. Okay, so when we replace as with when, we can read this sentence as you're as small as an ant when I do my do. And when I read it with the insertion of when into the line, the meaning does not change. It remains the same. But as a poet, my choice was to go with as. I felt that as was a better choice than when. Okay. And do you notice anything else about this poem? That's right, it rhymes. Which lines rhyme with which lines? That's right, the first line rhymes with the second line with the two words at the end, you and do. These are called end rhymes because they're at the end of the line. And then we have the last two lines rhyming, long and gone, right? Now, there is a difference between the first rhyming couplet and the second rhyming couplet. So, you and do are perfect rhymes. They're called perfect rhymes. But long and gone are what we call imperfect rhymes or half rhymes. Long is not a perfect rhyme for gone. Can you think of like a perfect rhyme for long? Yes, that's right. Maybe wrong, as in wrong and right, wrong, or gong, or song, right? That would be a perfect rhyme for long. What would be a perfect rhyme for gone? How about lawn or Sawn. No, I don't think sawn is a word. Scratch that. Gone, lawn, dawn, right? That would be a perfect rhyme for gone. But long and gone would still be considered a rhyme because they're still fairly close in terms of their phonetic similarity. So in poetry, we can use complete rhymes or full rhymes, perfect rhymes, or we can also use imperfect rhymes like long and gone, right? So let's read this again. Moko Jumbie. I'm as tall as the sky as I look down at you. You're as small as an ant as I do my do. I'm dancing on stilts, lanky and long. I take one stride and then I'm gone. By the way, there is an alliteration in here. Did you pick it up? That's right. Lanky and long. And if you would like to know what alliteration is, you can check out my previous videos if you go to the playlist section of my channel and look for the Poetic Devices series of videos. There may be other poetic devices here that I haven't picked up on, but I think those are the main ones. If you see any others, feel free to take note, right? You may see things that I may not have noticed, even though it's my own poem. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, thank you for giving it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see others like it and get notifications when I share new content, then please subscribe. Until next time.